So our today's grammar topic is punctuation marks. But before that, let us understand what is punctuation. So punctuation is the art of using the proper marks, stops or points in the correct places in composition. It means it is an art of using the punctuation marks correctly to make your writing more effective and more readable. So there is an example which is not at all punctuated. I have not put any punctuation mark, so it is not effectively readable. And in this example, second part, you can see that I have put all the punctuation marks, capital I, comma, and at the end there is a full stop. So more readable and more effective is the second example. Now let us have look at important punctuation marks. We very frequently use all these punctuation marks in our writing task or any writing topic. Full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, note of interrogation, note of exclamation and inverted commas. So if I talk about the first four punctuation marks, full stop, comma, semicolon and colon, all these are related with pauses, that how to take a pause while writing a composition. But there is difference of time duration. Some pauses are longer, some are shorter. So let us understand full stop first of all. Full stop, or it is also called a period, it indicates the longest pause. Whenever we are through with our idea, we have stopped writing about that idea, then we take a long pause, and that long pause is expressed by putting full stop. So the places where we use full stop are to mark the end of an assertive or an imperative sentences. Examples are in front of you. Oceans are full of water. This is an example of an assertive sentence. Do a kind deed every day. This is an example of an imperative sentence. And the second place where we use full stop is after abbreviations and initials. Now abbreviation is short form of some word and initials are the first alphabet of someone's name. So there are examples. Mr. K.C. Sharma. Now in this example, K.C. stands for name of some person. In your surroundings also, there will be many people who will be famous with their initials also. And next is abbreviations. Abbreviation is short form of some word, like we say MA. It is an abbreviation of Masters of Arts. We normally say I have done MA. So it is Master of Arts. So when we write an abbreviation or we write someone's initials, then we put full stop after that. Next is comma. Now comma again indicates a pause, as I have already told you, but this is the shortest pause between two words. When we need to take a little pause between two words, then we put comma. First place where we use comma is to separate a series of words of the same parts of speech. Parts of speech means if I am talking about nouns or pronouns or adjectives. So in that sentence, it will be a series of that words which I want to separate. So I put a comma to show a small pause. For example, we bought apples, oranges, bananas and grapes. Now all these are nouns. Apples, oranges, bananas and grapes all are noun and they are used in a single sentence. So to separate them, I have put a comma. Next place where we use comma is to mark off the name of the person addressee or in nominative of address. Like when we are talking to someone, we take their name and then we continue our conversation with them. Like Mayank, come here. Doctor, the patient is serious. So you can find these examples in your classrooms very frequently when your teachers talk to the students. But in speaking, we come to know from our intonation that we have taken a pause here. In writing, we have to show this pause by putting a comma. Next place where we use comma is to mark off noun, pronoun and phrases in apposition. When in a sentence we have any other noun, pronoun or any phrase which adds more information about a noun or a pronoun already used in a sentence, we put commas. For example, Mr. Mathur, the principal of the school. Now, this phrase, the principal of the school, is adding more information about Mr. Mathur, which is a pronoun in this sentence. So, I have put commas. I have kept this whole phrase in commas. Mr. Mathur, the principal of the school, addressed the students. Now, when I'm speaking this sentence, you can feel a pause, but in writing, we'll show this pause by putting comma. Next is to separate each pair of words connected by and. In our writing, many a time we use a conjunction and to join two words. So when we have two or three such phrases in a sentence, then to separate them, we put commas. Now example is in front of you: high and low, rich and poor, wise and foolish. All practice the tricks of the joker. Next, we use comma to separate the date of the month from the date of the year. It means very frequently we write the format of date in expanded form, and when we write the date in expanded form, we separate the date from the year by putting comma, as I have shown here in the example. And then we put comma to mark off a direct quotation from rest of the sentence. When someone quotations we are to write, then we put comma. From rest of the sentence, we separate that quotation by putting in comma. Example is, she said to us, wait and watch. Now I have separated wait and watch by putting a comma. Next is semicolon. Now this is the third sign of punctuation, which is used for pause, but it represents a pause greater than that indicated by the comma. Comma से बड़ा pause होता है ये. Time duration में it is longer than comma. So where do we use semicolon? To separate the lengthy clause of a compound sentence if that contains commas. So example is there. This is a lengthy clause where there are compound sentences, and we have separated these compound sentences by putting in semicolons. These are referring to different ideas, and it is a clause where there are compound sentences, and we have separate those compound sentences by putting semicolon. Next is, semicolon is used to separate a series of loosely connected clauses. The clauses which are not properly connected with each other, we use semicolon to connect them. Example is, reading makes a full man, speaking a ready man, writing an exact man. Now coming to our next punctuation mark, which is colon. Again, colon shows a shorter pause than full stop but longer than semicolon. Now it is again a pause which is shorter than full stop but it is longer than semicolon. So where do we use colon is to introduce a quotation or proverbs. When we want to introduce any proverb in our writing, or when we want to introduce any quotation in our writing, then we use colon. For example, Shakespeare says, what does Shakespeare say? It is his exact wording: sweet are the uses of adversity. So this is the quotation. Next, before enumeration. Enumeration means listing up things. So in a sentence, when we have 2, 3, 4 things to write, in that case we put colon. For example, the three great books are the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Gita. Now here we have three books, so to number these we have put colon. Next is the note of interrogation. Interrogation means inquiring something. So this is the very commonly used punctuation mark. We use it to ask direct questions. The example is in front of you. Have you done your work? This is an example of interrogation, sign of interrogation. But there is an important point which you need to keep in mind. It is not used after an indirect question. When we ask an indirect question to someone, then we do not put question mark at the end of the sentence. Example is here. She asked me what I wanted. So it is an indirect question. We are not going to put question mark at the end of the sentence. Next is the note of exclamation. Obviously, exclamation, you people know it is just expression, sudden expression of feeling. So we put sign of exclamation to express that feeling. It is used after interjection, exclamatory phrases, and exclamatory sentences. So there are three ways to use it. It can be used after just interjection, and after exclamatory phrase, and exclamatory sentence. So examples of all these three uh, ways are in front of you. Next is inverted commas. Now inverted commas are used to enclose the exact words of the speaker. If we want to say what the speaker has exactly said without changing the wordings, then we put put that wording in inverted commas. Example is, the teacher said hard work is the key to success. This is the exact wording of the teacher, what she said. Another example is, Rohan said to Rita, I am not feeling well. Again, this is an exact word of Rohan, what he said to Rita. So we have put inverted commas here. I hope all these punctuation marks are clear to you. Now this is a wonderful quote telling you the importance of punctuation marks. Punctuation improves the readability of writing by using symbols and rules. So if you want to make your writing effective and easy for the reader, then you should use correct punctuation marks. Thank you and enjoy your day.